Welcome to the Freud's Angels weekly reading, bringing the collective guidance and understanding for this week's energy.
Remember, never give your power up to a reader or a reading. You always have the power of autonomy. Hey, angels, welcome to your weekly reading. We are reading from May 24th through the 30th. Girls, friends, we're
What?
What? I have like T-1 month. No, that was last week. That was last Sunday. I have T-3 weeks before I leave, man. I hope we're recording this before that Sunday. And so I hope and pray to God that I am almost packed. I am almost done. So if that Sunday me is listening to this, which she will, like, you're doing a great job, keep going.
You got this, girl. You got this.
Yes.
You always got this. Have you ever not gotten this?
No, I did. Even when I'm like freaking out and at the last moment, I still have it. So
Exactly. My gosh. Yes. I mean, I don't, there's something to be said for moving where there's always going to be a last minute thing. Like
yeah.
I know somebody who's moving right now and like is really irritated because they haven't moved in like forever. And so they didn't know which things to pack and which things not to. Now I'm a freaking professional at this point, right? Like I know exactly how many cups and plates. I know how to plan my 2 weeks of meals with a certain amount of cookware because I have to pack the rest, right? But this person, no. So it's like this like horrifying experience of being like, oh my God, I need that, but it's packed. I need that, but it's packed. So there is something to be said for sometimes, depending on what we do in our lives and how our everyday is, we're just needing to be in acceptance that like last week is go time because I have a lot of stuff I need up until that. And I'm just going to be okay with that. That's just how life is for me.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Friends. What are we mermaiding about today?
Well, we are mermaiding about solitude. And it's the second that I saw this card, I heard my favorite, my soothing, and I heard it in his very soothing voice because Wayne Dyer is like a lullaby to me. But what he was saying was you're never alone if you like the person that you're with. And that means you're never alone if you love yourself, right? Because yeah. So when we think of solitude, I want people to be thinking about that. That's what I feel like. I feel like the card came out today to talk about like your relationship with yourself. And so the word solitude can mean certain things. You know, it can mean, oh, be by yourself because you need to be away from other people or cocooning, and it's come out a couple times and we've had some of those messages come through. But this one, again, came through very, very strongly of, are you cool on your own or are you not? Because being cool on your own is like really, really strong. It has the potential, of course, for hyper independence and that kind of stuff, but codependence on the other side of that, also not good. So what is your relationship with yourself and togetherness with self, and not having other people's energy or input or validation or programming, where are you with all of that? Are you able to sit with yourself and feel comfortable? Are you able to sit with yourself and feel good and be able to have good feelings about yourself and your life when you're just hanging out with you?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a big deal because I do obviously in my work come across all kinds of different levels of this. But one of the things that has happened to me since I became a parent, and I became a parent of a sensitive child, is that the push for being social, not here for it. I honor my daughter liking to be with herself and or with me because she likes herself and she likes being in her energy. And so it's okay for her to do that and also pick and choose when she doesn't want to be in solitude because she's not depending on social activity for anything, right? That becomes an add-on bonus to life. And so when I've watched that process happen, I've been like, "Oh, I don't want to undo that. I don't want to reprogram her to believe that sitting and being comfortable in her own energy is wrong. That's not what I want actually." And I see that wounding within myself of being like, "Oh, you're a hermit. You're hiding from the world." Like, no, I just really like my life. I created my life with lots of peace and I have a very inquisitive mind, so I love to just sit here and learn stuff and I don't necessarily want somebody here asking me questions or talking to me about it. I just want to be here with myself or sometimes I just want to lay in the hammock and think about stuff and be with myself and not need anything really and just kind of exist there and feel good about it and it doesn't mean I'm not loved and it doesn't mean that nobody cares about me because nobody's checking on me and blah 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 like all the things that go with what we think of as solitude or solitary life. So yeah, I want you to be thinking about your relationship with yourself and being just with you. How does that make you feel? Do you feel antsy? Do you feel unloved? Do you feel like people don't care about you? Do you feel relief? Because, man, if you feel relief when you're alone, that means you're probably overgiven out there in the world. You might want to examine that. Yeah. So it's not the solitude card didn't come out to say cocoon or go be by yourself, but it is asking you how you feel about it.
Right. Absolutely. Which, yeah. Yes. Which is, I mean, I think that it was always, has always, and been my eternal struggle, right? Of just, I don't know, being by myself. I think quarantine made us all aware of how we feel about being in solitude.
Yeah, man, I never wanted to stop after that. I was like, "Oh
Right.
my god, I'm not nearly as social as I thought I was. I was programmed." God.
Yeah. When you find yourself less anxious because you're not being social so much, it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like,
Yeah.
ugh, and I had permission, and then I grew so much during there where I was like, "Well, I don't need any permission. I give myself permission."
Right.
It's been so free ever since. So good.
Yeah. And so our surrender card may not seem like it's related, but it is. So follow the trend. Um, surrender your desire to control people. As Vanessa
Sorry.
chokes in water.
I was not ready for that, and I didn't wanna hear it.
Being over controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. And knowing how you feel about being in solitude gives you an idea about why you're trying to control somebody, right?
Amen. That's
It leads like how you feel in that space alone leads to how you need people to behave or act, which means you're trying to control them. And so when you think about it, if you're feeling like, oh, I'm being really controlling and micromanaging, take a breath and understand is like, how do I feel about being by myself? What is it that I am trying to achieve to feel safe? Or what do I fear if I can't control this person? What am I afraid of? And so, in relationship to the idea of being in solitude, like, what do I fear in being in solitude? What am I trying to escape when I am there? And so, yeah. So just there's interconnections, even if we don't think there are. There are.
Yeah.
And
That's a big one too, like, that I think people don't, see a lot of times until we get there, right? Like, I work with a lot of couples, so it's pretty obvious in that space a lot of times where I'm just like, "Well, yeah, you wanna control the other person because 'cause you're afraid of not being with them." And I
yeah,
get it 1,000%, but what does that control really do? You know, what is it really helping your relationship or is it really harming your relationship? How can we create something that's different where you are, again, like okay alone, but just making choice and both people being okay alone because that's not why we choose people,
yeah,
right? We don't choose people anymore to complete us because that is fucked up. It does
yeah,
not work. Really backfires, right? But no, I'm choosing people to add on. So why do I not feel like they're adding on? Why do I feel like I need to control them in order for them to fulfill whatever it is that I need from them? so that I won't be alone. And that's just one facet of things. I mean, this happens at work, right? Like you might want to control your environment at work because you're afraid of what's going to have to happen if you leave, right? Like, and that's again like kind of a form of like solitude is me, myself, and I. That can mean anything, right? Like, so yeah, my relationship with myself is always going to be how I see my relationship with other people.
Yeah.
And so yeah, totally fits.
Yeah. And so, and also the thought just slid into my brain about even if you're people pleasing, you're being manipulative because you're
100%.
wanting that person to like you.
Yeah.
And
Or
so,
at the very least, you're wanting no stress.
right, you're trying
Protect.
to do something to manipulate so that that person is like, and it's not wrong. I am not saying it's wrong because I have been that and known to have been that for all my life. But again, it's control because
Mhm.
it's based from a fear or a need that's not met. And so even if you're like, no, I'm just being really nice to the person, I don't know, just check your motives and check your, like, how does my nervous system feel if I don't do this? Like, what
Yes.
is the
Mhm.
consequence of not being this way? So
Yeah.
anyways, and so we bring in the numerology card of number 11 today, which is a beautiful thing, which is individuality.
Mm.
And so I think it ties it up with a nice bow, and that, you know, being an individual is just as important as anything else, if not more important, because if we are not rooted in ourselves and who we are and how we are, then we and connected with that, then it's hard to know what we're doing in the world and how we're going to do it
Yeah.
and not
And how
be,
we feel.
yeah,
Right? When we feel unfulfilled, a lot of times it's because we're running on something that's not about us as individuals.
exactly. Exactly. I just, in our pre-game, we talked about, me having to leave Arizona. It's like I had to leave it to become so that I could return, right?
Mhm.
Because I was not an individual. I was very much running a different program that wasn't mine, a different thought process, a different whatever. And so it's like, oh, okay, I had to leave to face and to cope with and to heal and to understand and embody all the reasons why I wasn't an individual or didn't feel like I could be or that I was worthy as an individual, and to return to be the individual that I meant to be when I was there.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And our money card, I have permission to say no when it doesn't align with my truth. Whew, that's the ultimate freedom.
What money card coming out of fucking left field.
I know, right? And it's funny because I've never pulled this card.
What are
So
you saying?
that we don't need to control people if it's like we don't have to
Well,
say yes. No is no.
yeah, and you don't have to say yes to anything. Again, like societal programming and money, big, big, big. Like it's so big. Like, there's a lot of traps that we're all in that we're like, wouldn't have even done that if I thought on my own, but I did that because I'm programmed to believe that this is what I should have done. Right. Again, case in point, I'm just gonna bitch about my truck payment until it's gone. Right. Like I never wanted to do that. For my whole entire life, I was the person that said I would rather own my vehicle. And I mean this because I've had payments twice in my life now, both times. Red Fords. Bah. Anyway. And I've always said because I would rather make some, adjustments throughout the years or whatever. Like I'd rather just pay for some repairs or do them myself than to feel like a ridiculous amount of my money is being spent when it doesn't have to be. Like that to me was like, it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm also not a new whatever, like I don't really give a fuck. Like I'm not like I don't need the top of the line, whatever, because it doesn't do anything for me. It's not about a worthiness thing. I don't feel any different. I don't get in a luxury car and be like, wow, I'm luxurious. Like I don't care. That's not how I experience vehicles. Other people do. You make your choices, you do what you want. For me, that was going against my feelings, right? Like I was saying yes to something that I knew I wanted to say no to,
Yeah.
but I did it anyway. And it's like, oh, so when you said that, I was like, something's going on in here. And I don't like it. But it's that, right? Like
Yeah.
big houses, I want a house. I want a house. When I look at how much I'm going to pay for a house over the course of my 30 years, I'm going to pay for it twice. I kind of don't love that. Like, I feel like if I buy a $250,000 house, by the end of it, it's a $500,000 house. On principle, that makes me feel pissed. Right? And so I sit with myself and I say, is that other people make that choice? Is that the choice you want to make? And the answer is still no. It is not a choice I am willing to make right now. It doesn't feel aligned with me.
Right.
And it feels aligned with other people, and they're allowed to do whatever it is that they want. But that's the point. The point being, for me, what is a yes and what is a no and why?
Crazy.
Yeah. That one got me.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, friends, work on this week. How you feel in solitude? How does it feel? How did you feel during quarantine? How did you feel when you're faced with yourself alone? And what it comes up, what feeling comes up? And that's important to know, because that's how we know ourselves. That's how we live a life with intention and in alignment with ourselves. So next week you will have a reading, and possibly the week after, but for the month of June, we are taking off. There's a lot of things happening in June, and it's just much easier and calmer to just give ourselves permission to take time off. We will miss you. I will miss Vanessa. I don't know how, we went 3 weeks and it felt like 2 years since I seen her. So I don't know.
We'll check in. I feel like every time you move, I gotta do the check-ins. Like, I can't just let it go.
Equally, this is only 2.5 days, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we are going to take June off, and then we will come back, and boy, we will have stories, I'm sure, because lots will happen in June for us. Wonderful things and more things that we can report on. If there is something that you guys want to talk about in our normal podcast, our Wednesday podcasts, please drop us a line. Let us know. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to hear? What insight, what wisdom do you need or do you want? And or if you're a person who brings magic to people's lives, you let us know. We're happy to have you on the podcast. We would love for you to be a part of it, because this June solstice on the 21st will be the beginning of our 7th year as a podcast. And I don't know that computes in my brain, because I don't know that I've done anything for 7 years besides.
I have not. I haven't. Yeah, I was just going to say, I lived in Jersey for 10. That's all I got.
Yes. So my friends, in this new iteration, who knows what'll happen? I'll be bringing some magic back from a different place. And this is bringing her own level of magic coming.
Man, and we're going back to time zone stuff. And I just remembered the weird Arizona doesn't do time zone thing.
One moment I'm going to be 2 hours behind you. The next moment I'll be 3. It is going to be wild. Let's just say that.
Yes, here we go.
Yes. Yeah. So if you're like, what happened to them? Just know that we've missed the time zone thing, and we didn't know how to fix it because we showed up sometimes. Yes. So, but anyways, my friends, I hope you'll stay tuned for the magic for the next year. 7 years is a great number. 7's one of my favorite numbers. And so I love you. We love you. And we will see you next week.
Yeah, love you. Thanks for listening.
We hope we gave you something to support your journey.
Check out our Facebook or Instagram page to connect with us.
Have a great week.